And here we go.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and today we have got a review for you for the original 1982 classic Blade Runner. With Blade Runner 2049 coming out this weekend, we wanted to take a look at the original and see if it has held up through the test of time. Blade Runner is an absolutely fascinating film, and it is one that almost requires repeat viewing so that you can go back and glean new information and gain new insight on the film as the years pass. It's one that I'm not afraid to admit that I didn't quite get the first few times I saw it. I saw the original theatrical version, saw the theatrical version again a second time, and then the editor's cut, or the first director's cut, came out, and I watched that, and I liked it even less. But then the final cut came out. I went back and revisited the original theatrical version before I watched the final cut. And the original theatrical version, it really piqued my interest. Maybe it was just my age, maybe it was just time giving me perspective. I'm not sure, but it really resonated with me. And it's become one of my all-time favorite sci-fi movies. Without a doubt, it deserves the classic moniker that it's been given. And the final cut is by far the best version of the film. It cleans up plot points, it cleans up the ending, which has been a sticking point for Harrison Ford for years. As a matter of fact, it's so fascinating to go back and look at this film, knowing how much production trouble they had between Ridley Scott and almost his entire crew. He had come over from his home country of England and wasn't used to the way things were run in US on a film production, and it really caused friction for Ridley Scott and his film crew. He was also extremely tough on Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford and Ridley Scott have since made peace, but during that shoot it is well documented that Harrison Ford did not care for the way things were going. He said it was an arduous shoot, it was extremely hard, it's the hardest film shoot he's ever been on, and they were in vehement disagreement on the ending. And this, obviously, if you haven't seen Blade Runner, go see it. It is incredible. As a matter of fact, if you're looking for a film to show off your 4K TV, this is the one. If you're looking for an older film, I've never seen a more beautiful restoration of a film in 4K. It's immaculate. And the ending where it is implied, the way that Ridley Scott edited it, that Deckard could be a replicant. Harrison Ford's not very fond of that. They discussed it before releasing the film, and they agreed that he was not going to be a replicant, and then Ridley Scott has come out definitively saying, yes, Deckard is a replicant, while Harrison Ford and Rutger Hauer don't believe that that's the case. And if you watch the film, it makes zero sense that he would be a replicant, in my opinion. So I'm on their side on this one. But to get to actually the critique of the film itself, this is director Ridley Scott's favorite film that he has ever made. And I totally understand. He's made some classics. Some absolute classics. Blade Runner might be my favorite film that he's ever done. It is absolutely fantastic. As per usual, the film is absolutely gorgeous. But that's not the best part of the aesthetic of this movie. This movie has a futuristic, but it's so gritty. The world feels so worn in. It is absolutely just lifelike. The world it inhabits feels real, and that is so important to get you to connect with the characters and the setting that it's in. And it tells a really simple story that Blade Runners have to go out and retire the replicants because they've become a danger. That's as simple as it is, really. Sean Young shows up. We can talk about the acting as well. Absolutely across the board fantastic. Harrison Ford as Deckard just completely holds the film on his broad shoulders. He is great to follow through, and it's a signature Harrison Ford role, and it's one that is plumb with exactly what he is good at, and that is being a presence. He is absolutely sturdy and fantastic in this movie. Of course, the showier roles are going to go to all the periphery characters. Sean Young as the love interest, as Rachel, is extremely vulnerable as the replicant who didn't know she was a replicant. And their connection is fantastic. It's a little strange at first, but it's what the movie hinges on, and it's what you see the heart of the movie develop around. And it asks so many interesting questions. It truly does. Rutger Hauer as Roy Batty, absolutely amazing. And the speech that he has at the end about how he'll disappear like tears in the rain.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears in rain.
Absolutely perfect. The delivery was great. The setting was great. There's a lot of actually really good action in this film. It's gritty, and it's visceral, and it's just shot so beautifully. And of course you have Daryl Hannah and Edward James Olmos, and just so many fantastic actors rounding out the supporting cast. This is, without a doubt, to me, a true masterpiece. It is a fantastic movie. Everything about it is just cinematic excellence. The music, the setting, the cinematography, the acting, the script. It's a very tight and well-made film, and it deserves every plaudit that has been heaped upon it over the years. Since 1982, it's had so many influences that it is inspired, like Ghost in the Shell. Just so many films that have referenced Blade Runner, The Matrix. Absolute classic films that is inspired in its own right. I can't say anything more glowing about Blade Runner, and I can't wait to see what one of my absolute favorite directors right now, appointment viewing directors, Denis Villeneuve, is amazing, and he is one of the few crop of new directors that is like a Ridley Scott, that is like a Steven Spielberg or a Scorsese or a Stanley Kubrick, where you almost have to go see their film, like a Tarantino. This guy is incredible, and I can't wait to see what he does with the Blade Runner universe. I can't say much more about it. If I'm going to give a score to Blade Runner, I'm going to give it a perfect 10 out of 10. Guys, I hope you're like me and you're going to go see the new Blade Runner this weekend and just see what it's all about. I would love to discuss the original Blade Runner with you guys in the comments, so if you have anything that you'd like to say, good, bad, or otherwise, definitely leave it in the comments below. I would love to discuss this film with you. There is so much to talk about when it comes to this movie, and it's always interesting to me. It is a film that I have grown to love, and I just really enjoy how much discussion and fascinating things you can draw from this film. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed this, go ahead and drop us a like and hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more from me. My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and as always, my friends, have yourselves a super week.